Marky Worthington Podcast all day.
All day.
Dream by night.
Don't buy me a drink. Just give me $10.
Oh, dude, you look sweet. Yeah, you got a big beard, dude.
Go down to the strip club with your floppy disk and turn it into a hard drive.
Yeah, right. Thrown out by Big Tony.
We're here to name names and make people feel more ashamed for shit that they're not proud of.
Me and my best friend, Marky Worthington.
No, whatever it is.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast. This is episode 107. It's a callback episode that I did with Dylan Holmes back in 2019. It's a review on the Alien vs. Predator movie. And it is also the first time I had Dylan on the show. You probably remember, if you've tuned in since, that I had Dylan on the show for episode 99, where we did another movie review on The Matrix. So this is where it all started. And we also had some good banter about the movie, some different reviews that we found online. This is a really good episode, so thanks for tuning in, and let's go for a trip down memory lane to check out the first time Dylan Holmes was on the show. For upcoming dates, check out my website, markycomedy.com, but one highlight that I have is a charity bowling night, which is coming up at the start of the March. I've chose this date because it's the start of, it's the 30-year anniversary of John Candy's death, and it is the 4th of March, 2023. I love how I pretended that I knew that off the top of my head, and I was just stalling to get the actual date from my phone because I can't remember anything without my phone. So let's get into the episode. Cheers for listening.
Callback episode.
A good callback.
Hello and welcome to the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast. Today we're at the basement. I'm joined here with Dylan Holmes.
What's up?
Hey Dylan, man. It's good to have you on the show. We've kind of been doing a few mics around town for a little while now. And
Yep.
it's good to actually sit down and have a chat. We're thinking of doing something a little bit different today. Normally on my podcast we just talk for a little while and let it actually just organically form the whole podcast, but we actually got some structure to this one. So welcome to the first structured episode.
Flirting with a little structure in your life, Marky.
Yeah, exactly, man. Well, I figured there's no one else to drag into it than you, so...
Yeah, well, I'm free almost all the time. So.
Oh, man. So, yeah, our structured episode today, we decided to do a movie review, and we chose the 2004 cult classic hit Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah, that's lofty praise already.
Yeah.
I guess it's a cult classic of sorts. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of... I guess we'll get into it more later, but there's like a teaser about what we're going to be talking about. But just to cap it off, I'd probably say that all in all, it got like a whole bunch of people that were Alien fans and Predator fans to both simultaneously hate one franchise.
That's true. And there's a lot of crossover in those fans already, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then just this movie came out, and I remember seeing it at the movies. I was just like, I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, that'll be cool. We'll be able to get into that a bit more. But just for anyone that doesn't know you, man, how long you been doing comedy for?
I think I'm coming up on 2 years at the moment, mainly just kicking about them open mics, but a Raw state final alum.
Yeah.
Probably my biggest thing at the moment. So, yeah, just keeping at it, plugging in.
Cool. Have you done Raw before? I think you did that last year, didn't you?
Yeah, that's where I made the state finals.
Yep. And this year again, going for it again?
Yeah, definitely. I think I got a good set, hopefully. So, try to make the parents proud.
Yeah, dude. No, it's cool when you have people come along. Actually, neither of my parents have ever come to one of my one of the nights I've been performing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's good and bad, like when you have people you know in the crowd, because sometimes it's like you're performing to them.
Yeah, definitely. Because I've got my mum coming to Thursday night at the Pollet Bar.
Yep.
And dude, anyone who's all my jokes are either about video games or just fucking dicks and butts.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one. Like, my mom's not going to get a video game joke.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of just doing, like, all my dick jokes. Just, like...
Get them burned.
Yeah, or just, like, rip the Band-Aid off. It's this is what your son does, Mum. Like, this is terrible.
Dude, that's awesome. I do have one video on my Facebook of when I went down to Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned it before on the podcast, but basically what happened was I signed up because in a different town. I don't know who runs the room or anything like that. I just rocked up, went up to the person taking names who wasn't the MC, and then didn't check where I was on the list because they reordered it after we put our names down.
Classic move.
So, yeah, just like just classic stitch up, and I and I just had to sit in the front row because I wasn't sure when I was going to get called. So you know that moment of anticipation between when they're like, "Welcome to the next stage." Like as soon as I was just like, "This could be me," or they'd like it'd be a name that started with M. So I was no, and then it'd be fine. Or like if they were like, "Oh, this next performer's performed in Melbourne Comedy Festival," like, "Oh, cool, I'm good."
Yeah.
But yeah, so what happened is, I only just started my Facebook page that around that time, and I decided that all right, well, I'm going to film this because it's like a different room, different town, different crowd, and if it turns out okay, I'll put it up as a video. Now, what happened was, because I was in the front row for the entire time, I'm way up in the second half, but from the start of the night, I'm in the front. MC doesn't know that I was on the bill because he wasn't the one that wrote my name down.
Yeah.
So he was just doing all of his crowd work on me because I was like the only one in the front row.
That's so shit when that happens. Yeah.
So what happens is he's like, next up to the stage, we've got Marky Worthington. And then sees the guy he's been riffing on the whole time stand up.
Yeah.
And that's when the video starts. I grab the mic and go, now it's my turn on the mic, motherfuckers. Crowd starts laughing, and that's the icebreaker. And I just come in hot and just fucking like... I wish I did a little bit more of the addressing of the fact that happened.
Yeah.
But that's where the video comes in. I ended up putting it up. But because I'm like mad and I'm like kind of in a ranting mode...
Yeah.
It was the first video I put up and the first time my mum ever seen me do stand-up.
Yeah.
So next time she's talking to me, she's like, "Oh, I watched your video. I couldn't get through it. Is it swearing too much? Like, I'll have to just wait." Like, my mum's okay with like, you know, just me talking to her.
Yeah.
But like the video, for some reason, she was just like, "Oh, no, I'll have to like put that away."
Yeah, and with the explaining, man, I think you made the right call. Like, you only got 5 minutes. You can't like spend the first just like, well, I came here to film the thing, and then he was picking on me, and now I'm going to pick on him.
Yeah, man. I think it was one of those moments where if I just went up and did the 5 minutes that I was doing at the time and didn't film it, it would have been forgotten. But the fact that actually happened made it more memorable. Like, it was actually a funny story to me. Yeah,
definitely way better than just doing like your 5 minutes or whatever you've done like a million times.
Yeah, or like just going up and saying something that was relevant to that time.
Yeah.
I think I need to use more of those relevant jokes for burners for like socials. So like if something's happening right now and you do a joke about it and you happen to like film your set or whatever, put that up as a burner so that people can like see it but you're not killing material.
Yeah, definitely. And like that's a strength of yours. You have like a good clapback game. So
sick, man.
Yeah, you do,
Thank
man.
you.
It's like, should I just heckle this guy?
Like,
dude,
oh man, like I think.
Don't ever heckle, by the way. Or me, don't heckle me,
man. Well, to be honest, man, sometimes like I'll actually get a good bit from someone that says something.
Yeah.
So like, I might get a good tag to a joke or like a second punchline for the same setup.
Yeah.
Because someone will say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I forgot whose podcast I was listening to, but there's like this misconception of like hecklers, like you need to be like faster and wittier than them and like shut them down. But mostly it's someone who's just off their tits, just yelling bullshit. It's like you can only like be clever and cutting like so many times before it's just belligerent them at you, and you're just like, fucking shut up.
Yeah, like sometimes you can't think of something to come back to them because what they said made no sense.
Yeah, definitely. It's just noise.
Yeah, it's a bit like actually I complimented 2 local dudes for their like heckle comeback skills.
Yeah.
Nick Schuler, if you've ever seen him deal with a heckler, and I said it to him last time I was talking to him. I was like, dude, you've got this ability to just be like, start talking, you've got a moment, but then when it gets too much, you're like, I didn't ask for your opinion.
yeah.
And just cut him off. It's just really, really well done. I think his relationship with the audience is really solid. Like his ability to kind of involve them until it's their time to talk is over and now keep talking.
Yeah. I think he's also like sneaky swole. Like,
he
looks kind of like a nerdy guy, but then
dude.
you're like, hold on.
Yeah.
Like, he could probably fuck me up.
Yeah, he's like
really
the Ned Flanders of the comedy
Dude,
scene.
that's exactly it. Fuck.
Like,
Simpsons so
yeah,
good.
or like Willie, like
dude. Fuck. Can we just talk about The Simpsons for another 30 minutes?
Yeah, man. No,
no.
I'm into that. And the other guy that I complimented on it was Bill Macon.
Bill Macon, definitely,
yeah, dude,
man.
smashes it, and it comes out in his roast battles. Like, if you've ever seen, I remember one night I was at Smith's, and it was after the roast battles, but it was before his comedy hour, so he was still trying to fine tune a couple of things for the comedy hour, but he had all this leftover material from the roast battles. So like someone just heckled him, and it was just like, I'm not going to worry about my material. I've got all this leftover stuff from roast battles, which I'm just going to... He did like 2 minutes to this heckler.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, I'm done. Like that was as good as anything.
Dude, Bill kind of keeps you honest as well. Like if you're up before him and you fuck up, he'll like rip on you on stage.
Man, I love it, man. Dude, it's why it's actually Bill was the first MC that I ever did an open mic with.
Yeah.
So he did the sign up and MC'd for the first ever open mic I ever did, and I mentioned that in the first podcast, and that's why I had him on because it was kind of like my starting point and also like a good starting point for the podcast.
Yep.
And also it was because it was just before we were. The comedy festival, and it just took me so long to release it. So there was also some like actual reason for doing that. I just never utilized it.
Yeah, being relevant. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is funny because like some of the dates are off in the first couple episodes. Like, talking about open mics that haven't started that have been established. But man, it's one of those things. It's just he does keep you honest, man.
He does.
And also he kind of knows a lot of people in the scene and kind of like he's just really cool to be on my side with stuff.
Yeah, he's great for like he's like a good person to like know, and like he helps new people. So
yeah, dude.
He does it right, man. Like
yeah, dude. No, he'll like plenty of times he'll say like, oh, that's a good bit, man.
Yeah.
Like I kind of know. And it also helps he's got like a unique laugh, so you can tell what shit
every time it's Bill laughing.
You can tell what's hitting him well.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't care what the rest of the crowd is doing. If I can hear him laugh and it's a good bit, fuck everyone else.
Oh, dude, it's so good when like you get one of the comedians on your side.
Yeah.
At least I'm making this guy laugh. Man. That means something here is funny. Like,
yeah. Like many times you'll just be like, "Thanks, Matty Weeks."
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But dude, who was the? Do you remember the first ever place you did comedy?
That would have been the Phoenix.
Yep.
And I think, I'm not sure if it was Dom emceeing.
I know Frankie ran that room.
Frankie did run that room, but I think it was maybe Don or Anthony that was emceeing. So I remember one time Dom was MC and it was so funny, but it was so rough and like he didn't really get invited back again. But, that would be one of the times.
Dom's still standing. Phoenix isn't, so I guess. That's
But the Phoenix will be reborn, I guess. Is the cliche.
Well, I don't know. It's like cats. They say have 9 lives, but the Phoenix already raised from the ashes once.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe it's like Heroes of Might and Magic 3, you know? It's like a 50-50 chance if it comes back again.
Yeah, it's like a roll of a dice.
Yeah. RNG.
Like D6, 3 or whatever.
Oh, man.
But I think that the Phoenix closing was like the gateway to where the other mics in town sort of opened back up again.
They had to step up. Like, people were, desperate for comedy, and then, like, Phoenix closed down, and then all these people are, like, out getting new rooms. Like, Kai's done great.
Yep.
The front's open again. Like, Smith's is, like, 60 people every time.
Yeah. It's really picked up, man. I think that at the same time, this kind of new influx of comedians has come along too. There's like a new few waves.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years I've been doing comedy, I've noticed at least like 2 waves of newcomers.
Yeah.
Pretty much every year there's a bunch of people that will just start randomly. And it's good when you get a few new people coming along.
It is good, but you see, like, I don't know, not as much people stick around as like you kind of want, though. You know.
Yeah. Well, part of the problem with that is like a lot of them are open mic, so they're going to be on a weeknight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And a lot of people like have. I didn't quit my job to be a professional comedian.
Yeah.
I just quit my job and still do comedy.
yeah.
It's like, dude, if you don't have a job in your 20s, you're not retired. You just don't have a job.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true, man. Oh man, we'll never retire. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. Like, comedy is probably one of those careers that you will do forever.
Yeah, if you can.
Like if you want to keep doing it, you can.
Yeah, well, it takes like 10 years to like get anywhere. Like after that, I'm not fucking giving up.
Yeah, exactly, man.
I'm throwing it away.
Yeah, exactly, dude. But yeah, there's a little intro, a little bit of chat about the Canberra scene and comedy in general, man. Let's get into some movie review.
Yeah, let's do it. This is Alien vs. Predator still?
Yeah, Alien vs. Predator. We got we figured we'll break the ice with 3 websites and some reviews that I had on there.
All right.
From that. So there's 3 websites. We got Empire Online.
Okay, yep.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Classic.
And commonsensemedia.org.
I can already tell it's going to be so shit.
Dude, the funniest thing is like .com must have been taken.
What is it?
Like .org.
.org? Not non-for-profit, yeah.
So
this is for the community.
Someone's already making money out of commonsensemedia.com. So for the community, they created that thing. Now, Empire Online, 2 out of 5.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes. Now there's 21% from Tomatoers.
Okay.
And 39% audience review.
Well, okay.
Okay. And commonsensemedia.org.
Can I guess? 1.
1 out of 5. Yeah. Common Sense Media wasn't a fan.
It was either 1 or 5. Let's be real.
Well,
I feel like they don't give a lot of 3 stars.
the funny thing is, everything in comedy usually runs in 3s. Yeah. So I just accidentally chose 3 sites. Like it's just, it's kind of like it's the beat that I run to now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and when I say 3 sites, I just mean the first 3 that came up when I googled it. Yeah. So okay, so let's go through 3 reviews from Rotten Tomatoes. I've got 2 rotten reviews and 1 fresh review. All right. Okay. The title alone betrays the entire Hollywood mindset of rehash, reheat, recombine, and re-release.
Can I say that this person clearly doesn't know that Alien vs. Predator was like a comic series from like 1989 or whatever. Fucking Hollywood.
Oh, man. Yeah, so that's the title of their review. I'm not going to I'm not going to read the entire review, but yeah. That one is on Rotten Tomatoes.
Also, one more thing about that. They're talking about like this rebranding and reboot. This is like 2004. Before this was like an epidemic. Anyway.
Yeah, so, like, they were mad at re-releases before it was cool.
Even the thing, dude, fuck.
Yeah.
They were woke before that was a thing.
And they're like a professional reviewer too. So the first 2 are from professional reviewers.
Okay. Yep.
So I'll just read the start of the next one, like the start of the title, which is I love the opening phrase. Humans find basically a predator training gym.
That's exactly what it is.
Interesting concept, but poorly executed.
Yeah, that one's actually probably spot on.
Yeah, well that was rotten. That one.
This one's good now.
Yeah, so the last one, this is a fresh review.
Okay.
Even at its most over-the-top, so the bit they're referring to in brackets, they say, our heroine's climatic team up with the Predator.
Yeah, okay.
It's still just it's just so dangerously entertaining that it couldn't even be dismissed. There we go. Stumbled my way through that. Okay. There are 3 Rotten Tomato ones. Now I've got some reviews. These are mixed reviews combined from Empire Online and Common Sense Media. Now, Common Sense Media focus heavily on how suitable this is as a PG film. So you'll be able to tell which reviews are from that side. So we'll start with a 5-star. We'll go to a 4, then a 2, then finally a 1.
All right.
Okay.
And these are the last two, the Common Sense and...
Common Sense Media and Empire Online.
All right.
Media.org, by the way. So, 5 stars. Awesome. This movie is not, I repeat, not bad.
Okay. Do they give reasons?
It's not scary. It only has green gore and other stuff.
Okay, so this is like
this movie is not bad.
It's not bad.
Is how they finish it. This movie is not bad. Not is in capitals, so they're emphasizing the not. So, what I gather from this is the best review I could find online gives it 5 stars and then says it's not bad.
I was looking from like the perspective of like this is a good Christian film.
Yeah, you can see the allies between the two sides. But yeah, okay, let's get into a 4-star. So this is not quite there.
Okay.
There's lots of slime and gore.
Slime.
There's not as much as the original Alien or Predator movies.
Okay.
But there's some swearing. Like the S word is used 3 times.
It is. Shit.
1 F word. 2,
no, there isn't. I don't think there is.
2 B words. And
Bitch.
1 incomplete mother effer.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Where do they say fuck?
I don't know. This person apparently was like... You have to consult this person's legal pad that they had in front of the movie, like with a tally next to each.
I also love how it starts. Like, you think they're on the side for Alien and Predator. It's like, it's not as gory as the original films.
Yeah.
But here's what, that's a good thing. It's like, oh, fuck off.
Dude, the best bit about this is he gives us... this reviewer gives a score out of 5 for 3 major components.
Okay.
Violence and gore, 4 out of 5.
All right. Yeah.
Language, 3 out of 5.
Oh, no.
So I'm not sure whether he wanted more swearing or less.
Yeah, I'm going to say that this is definitely from the
more conservative
Yeah,
side.
Conservative, and they want
the best
no
part about
B words at all, man.
yeah. Dude, the best part about this review, and the third and final rating they give, is sex, 0 out of 5. So I'm not sure if that's because there's no sex, so it's like NA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or whether it's just because like there should have been and there wasn't.
There should have been very respectable missionary.
Yeah.
Lights are off.
Like they did a wedding ceremony prior.
Yeah. They're consummating their vows. Yeah.
All right, man. Let's
Also, so one more thing on that.
Yeah.
She accidentally made like a good point about like the green blood.
Yeah.
And like all the shots with it look fantastic.
Yeah, dude. Like, I think the best Alien kind of versus Predator, like Alien versus Predator style combat in that is where they have like the fucking razor wire like net on the
that fight
Yeah,
dude, that's far and away the best part.
That fight is worth is probably the standout part of the movie. And the other part about that is makes her a cool shot, man. I've seen someone get a portrait of that tattoo, like the alien.
The alien that has the grid on it.
It makes her a really cool picture.
Yeah, it is sick.
Like a good visual. And then, so we got our 2 more left. We got a 2-star review.
All right.
Please spare yourself and definitely your children from this movie. Gross and very violent. The movie isn't worth watching. It's almost laughable how bad this movie actually is.
Okay, that's just from a purely like, don't subject your children to bad art.
Please think of the children.
Yeah.
Okay, and then finally our 1-star review. Now, I'm going to emphasize this whole review is in caps.
Okay. How's the punctuation?
Exclamation marks.
All right.
1 star. Bullcrap. Written in capitals with an exclamation mark at the end. Followed by no. With all exclamation marks. Don't even think about watching it. there are a lot of crappy films out there, but this one is just too much to take it. Never watch it ever.
All right.
So-
See, that could be from either side.
Dude,
That's
That could have been written by a predator.
oh shit.
Oh
Yeah.
man. So they're the reviews.
All right. Can I bring up one? I think category none of those reviews really brought up, and that's happening like a lot recently. And that's just an alien fighting a predator is just objectively rad,
Yeah.
and no one takes that into account.
Dude, like I think that, like, all right. To be fair, you're next to like a massive cage, and you know an alien and a predator are both going to go in there. Who are you putting money on?
Okay, is the predator
All
like
weapons. They all got
geared
got
up,
their stuff.
and it's just like a circle?
Yeah, it's just a pit, like
gotta
a
be-
Mad Max Thunderdome.
See, I think the predator then. Like
Yeah.
the aliens, they need to sneak around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Yeah, I'd go the predator, but I think to be fair, they made it a fairly fair fight. This movie, they did. They didn't weigh on one side or the other. Like the predator
Dude,
had
the predators get wrecked at the start, man.
dude,
Like-
completely. Yeah, I think that's why. I think
Yeah.
that's because they got to have one that wins, so they'll make that one lose at the start.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
okay,
Like
yeah, I
they
see
need-
that, yeah.
Like so that it's kind of that moment because if the predators are just like slashing alien ass the whole time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not really like an engaging
Yeah,
movie. It's
that's
basically it just be called Predators Kill Aliens.
Yeah, but they did have. We referenced this before. Like the best part of the film is the fight between. There's
Yeah.
like one or two like real fights between them, and it's like the alien having like a wrestling match
Yeah.
almost. So, like he's like throwing it into walls and shit, and like spinning it around.
yeah.
yeah.
It's pretty well choreographed.
It is. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I think that all in all, I'd choose Predator over Alien to win that.
Yeah.
Bare knuckle, like
Bare knuckle or alien,
Alien.
every day.
Just-
yeah,
just
it's not
kill.
even close.
like to be honest, man, Predators are like the fucking Iron Man of sci-fi.
They are, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like they're basically just a sack of meat without.
Yeah, just like a can of beans.
Yeah, they're basically they're like they're kind of outdated too because they're wearing like the mesh singlets. Like
yeah.
I remember,
I think maybe that's just fashion, though.
dude. Well, it's pretty behind even the fashion, you know. Like,
yeah, but we don't know what's hip on Planet Yacha, whatever they're fucking from. Like,
the other that's a good point. But the other thing is like my dad was telling me that when he was younger, mesh singlets were like a tough guy thing to wear. Like that's if you go back far enough, stuff that could be like it's like a gay icon now.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was like if you wore that to the pub, don't mess with that guy.
forgot about that.
Like there was
yeah.
a dude that he was telling me when he was younger, there was a guy that used to just ride a motorbike and wear a
Yeah.
mesh singlet with nothing as protection,
Yeah,
like no jacket or anything.
yeah.
And he was like known as the tough guy in town.
Do you also have like a mustache?
Yeah, it's just like a mustache, like a
a lisp.
like a lisp, just a leather policeman's cap.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Just, riding
Just all
around-
the stereotypes.
Just all the stereotypes.
Yeah.
No, but I just think that if you go back far enough, stuff that wasn't in fashion is like in fashion, or if it's not in
Yeah.
fashion, it's ironic to wear it.
It's almost like cyclical, man.
Yeah,
Like-
it's like we've got 3 styles and we just keep repeating them.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
by the time one comes back around, all the people that thought that was outdated are dead now.
Yeah, you're definitely like gonna see like in 10 years some dude wearing a cape, and you're gonna like think he's rad.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Superman will be cool again.
Yeah. Is Superman not cool?
Oh,
Like,
yeah, true. Like, no, I think that it's just one of those, like, it's kind of, capes is taken by the superheroes. Like, if you just wanted to wear
Yeah.
a cape now, like, in
That's
public.
true. You
Like, if I'm
definitely-
going shopping on Saturday morning, Westfield Belconnen,
yeah.
I can't
Yeah, yeah.
decide as a fashion choice I want to put a cape on without someone asking me, like, so who are you dressed up as today? oh, this is very cute.
You definitely can't pull it off with like a hoodie or like a button up or something.
Yeah, like
if you had armor, maybe.
It would be a good distraction. Like if you're going to rob a bank, wear a cape because they might forget what you look like because they were focused on the
What do you
cape.
look like? You had a fucking red cape.
Well, I thought he was going to come in and save from a robber, but there was no robber initially. Then I realized we were in trouble.
Getting mugged with a sword, yeah.
Yeah. Like I kind of wish another person with a cape would come to save us from the original hero.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Yeah. So anyway, overall, man, how do you rate Alien vs Predator?
How do I rate it? All right. It's a movie of like very highs and like honestly crushing lows. But like I'll talk what I like because I'll just bring this up. Some people like go so far out of their way to hate things now. But one thing that was excellent was like the production design.
Yep.
Every alien looked fantastic.
Yep.
Every predator looked fantastic. All like the gear for the predator and what is it? We mentioned it before, the blood effects.
Yeah,
I mean, I heard the R version blood effects are pretty shit, but I wouldn't watch the PG one. But like, yeah, like you can tell that like the alien and the predator blood was what they could get away with and keep with PG. Because every time something happens to them, they just these fluorescent bling green blood just splatters everywhere and looks fucking rad in like the dark of like the ancient temple. And then they also did the acid on the aliens look really well, like it melting. I thought that was sick. And in like the first half of the movie, they had like a lot of fun with like the flares and the laser sights.
Yep.
Like I thought all the lighting in that first half looked great because it's like a scene when the guy from like Train Spotting, he like opens that door in like the whaling town, which also looked great. Like that was rad.
Oh yeah. All the flecks of mist, like frozen.
Yeah, definitely like that, and then like the light from the flares cuts through it.
Yeah.
There's one where he's like opening this old like metal shed door, and like the light from the flare like scans around like the predator would like scan something.
Yeah.
And it's like just like looked incredible, man. Like that's the stuff like I liked about it.
Yeah.
Like obviously.
So if you were gonna say, what you like about it, you think that the filmography, and the set design, is good.
Definitely, man. Whoever did those like. I don't think they were miniatures, but whoever did like the costumes and the practical effects, man, they all look so good. Like how gross it is on like I don't even remember.
For 04 as well. Like
definitely, man. Like the way they brought the puppets and like CG in, like so well. Like it works. Like that's like you said, 2004. That's incredible that holds up. And like just one more shot I really liked was when they put the queen into the ice.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you know, in the original Alien and Aliens, like it's like in space they kill it.
Yeah.
It's like the same. It's like there's no sound. There's like a little speck of light. It's mainly dark, and she just like drifts off into the distance.
Yeah.
Like I know that's like it's a homage to other things, but it still looks great in a vacuum by itself. And it's also like a reference to like these movies that like we love so much, and I just thought that was like really, really well done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I'm similar thoughts to you, man. Like I'm a fan of sci-fi in general.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of Alien and Predator. I think I mentioned this before. It's like when they made that movie, it was like your ex and your girlfriend's ex start dating. Like two different scenes both came together.
Yeah.
So you could judge it from a distance.
Yeah. Okay. I was wondering where like the X thing came from.
Yeah, exactly. It was one of those things like the reason the X thing comes into it is because you both wanted to hate it, but it actually turned out not too bad as far as like there was some good moments.
Definitely.
I think overall, I think the reason that it let a few people down was because the standard was set really high.
It was like there was a lot of hype for this. Like the comics have been around almost 2 decades by the time that film came out.
Yep.
Yeah. And like I know my expectations were like through the roof, and I only learned like recently that in America it had like the PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
And that honestly would have gutted it, man. Like how much. Like, I'm not trying to sound like bloodthirsty or anything, but like how much better it would have been. Like the tradition of these films is like they are violent, man.
Yeah,
like
I think so too.
Yeah, like they're like they started off as horrors almost. Well,
Yeah.
Alien was, and then
Dude, the first Predator movie was pretty scary. Too.
yeah, it was definitely
The
like
mystique of the Predator.
yeah, especially like when you watch it the first time and you have like you don't know what it is like.
Just like when it's creepily repeating what people
Oh,
were saying
dude,
and
so
stuff.
good, yeah.
Yeah. Man, I think the back to the first Predator movie. I think like the first and tying it to comedy. The first time I ever told the joke was repeating like the jokes that like that Billy's telling in the first Predator movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh, you mean the guy they got on board to like act so they could get him to screenwrite as well? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
So the guy who tells all the jokes, the guy with like the glasses, he's Shane Black, I think his name is.
Yeah.
But he was like a really talented screenwriter, but they wanted him on set and like writing, so they cast him in like this minor role to have him around just to touch up the script because he was like a really renowned screenwriter at the time. And, like it's like, oh, while you're here, Shane, can you just have a quick look at like page 5?
Well, I've got you.
yeah. Why are you here, man?
It's a bit like one time I went for a job at a bar
Yeah.
who was also hosting a beard competition.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, can we employ you for one day? Because we need a host for the beard competition. We'll pay you bar wages.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, no, I'm like here to be a bartender.
Yeah.
So I didn't like get the job.
Yeah.
But it was like, out of all the candidates, you'd be really fitting like right now.
Yeah, this
and
one
then
night.
immediately useless.
Yeah, I like any. You just give someone notice to grow a little bit of a beard. Like, also, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, if you planned ahead, you could just get one of your current bartenders, 9 months notice, get him
Yeah.
to grow our beard.
Not even 9 months, man. Like a couple of months, just
Yeah.
so he's don't be clean shaven. That
Yeah,
day.
just don't be the guy that does it clean shaven.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's the thing, man. All in all, Alien vs Predator. Let's wrap it up with what we think of the thing. I think you touched on some good points with how it looks.
You want me to shit on it now? Is
And also, and also the filming and graphics and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, what about it didn't you like?
All right, there's a lot of characters that are just underdeveloped and also underkilled.
Yeah.
Like, if you need one or the other. Like,
Yeah.
if you have characters there to, like, be dead, like, kill them fucking spectacularly.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a PG-13 rating. Like, the dude, like, opens the shed and all the dudes are hung up. I was like, what the fuck? These guys still have their skin. What's going on? And then, like, some of those guys have, like, great lines where, like, the dude's like, he's like, are you your father? He's like, yeah, we don't have the luxury of quitting. Like, that's such a great line.
Yeah.
And then they die a minute later off screen.
Yeah.
Like, so that, like, some of the acting's a bit iffy, but I don't want to just shit on actors. But one thing I didn't think was really fucking funny, you know, when they're telling the story, they have, like, he's reading the glyphs, and it's, like, how they've been, like, doing it. Those are on the fucking ceiling. What the fuck? Like, who chiseled those, like, up there, man? Just crazy. And then by the end, he's looking at the floor, so he must have, like, gone from the ceiling down a wall to, like, where they ended up to tell, like, a fucking 30-second story.
The other point is, like, yeah, well, hieroglyphs you'd think would be more shorthand than that. Nothing tightens up some words like having to slam it into
Fucking
stone.
emoji.
They should have one symbol that just means all that. Because I know that if I had to carve it into a fucking tomb, I would somehow sum it up in one picture.
Yeah, dude. Well, there is kind of. They have, like...
ASCII, just like instead of sending a text message, use ASCII because like it's hieroglyphs for like the modern age.
I don't even know what that is, man. I'm so out of time.
ASCII's like when you draw pictures with like backslashes and like.
Oh
commas
yeah, I get you. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. But what I was saying, they had like the ancient like tablets of like artwork of like aliens and predators, and it's just like I can see how that would be a real struggle to make look good, but they did all right. But you're just like, all right, it's like
you'd think that it was like My point is, you've got an entire fucking tomb there to write shit on.
Yeah, and they did.
And the roof, on the roof and everything. Like, if you need that much writing, build another tomb, devoted to the writing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a library.
Yeah,
But dude, this is the other point. Like, what were the libraries like? Was it just like, instead of
Stone
books,
taps.
it was just a room full of
little
writing?
rooms. I don't know. What did Egyptians have? Fucking papyrus.
They write it with organs.
Of like the leftover peoples. I mean, this is just going to waste.
Yeah, it's like, we could spell it using like arms and legs and stuff.
Yeah, gross. Oh man.
The other point is like, do they need to write that all out?
Well, I guess not. But like now we're just getting into like.
Yeah. The other point is like, I mean, all the killings and shit aside, pretty good rig, eh? Like, like not a bad temple.
Yeah. Well, I know another thing now that has aged like fine wine. I mean that legitimately. Dude, the Predators were the ancient aliens.
Yeah.
Like showing up, teaching everyone culture and shit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, teach them how to write hieroglyphs and stuff.
Yeah. When did that ancient alien shit start? That would have to have been like after 2010, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, dude.
Because I've seen a few movies like that in that same vein.
Yeah.
Ancient aliens.
That's another thing, man. Alien vs Predator ahead of its time.
Yeah. It was the original like ancient alien type thing.
Yeah. Or another thing, and I heard that like the director had done this before, but I don't know if it's like a ripper. Like when he goes from like you see like the alien holograms and like they zoom in,
Yep.
and it like cuts to like inside the temple,
Yeah.
in like real vision. That's not what it's called, but you know what I mean. Like it cuts in and out like that. I thought
Like
that was
you mean like the heat view sort of thing?
yeah,
that
like they have
do?
the heat view, and then
Yeah.
you see like the people walking through the temple, and like zooms in,
Yeah.
and the shot just like smoothly transitions into
Yeah.
like them like in reality, you know, not just on a screen. Like
Yeah. No, I like some of that. Like I said, man, for its time, all
its-
those
yeah.
little things are things that you'd probably see in newer movies. That
Yeah.
style of sci-fi. They kind of, I think one thing with that is they wrote it for the time. They didn't make it. They knew what technology was available,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they wrote the script within what they could recreate. Like they didn't go
Yeah.
over the top. It's a bit like with Avatar, right?
Yeah.
Like if that movie came out instead of Titanic, it would be shit.
Yeah.
But instead, and if Titanic, like you can't really you don't need like anything more than what they did in Titanic.
Yeah,
like, it's
definitely,
not-
yeah.
Like I think they wrote to what technology could coincide their
Definitely.
script. Yeah.
And I think the biggest CG thing in Titanic everyone remembers is when the dude falls off and hits the propeller. That's the only thing I like remember though. The story's like kills like, oh man, he got fucked up.
Yeah. Like just hanging out for that brutal scene.
Yeah, and then you were talking about like the effects. I think it's good they did it practical because both Alien and Predator have like the history of like great practical effects. Like I know that James Cameron, I think it was, for the first, he helped design the first Predator. He's like, give it mandibles and they're in there. And then H.R. Geiger, like for Alien, was like, just make it look like a dick. It's like, let's just really like jam this like rape symbolism.
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
like,
Well,
everyone's
let's
so-
make it look as much like a dick
Yeah.
as possible, but without people knowing why they think they recognize it.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's like I don't know where I've seen that before, not realizing it just is because it looks like a dick.
Yeah, that's definitely what he was after. Like the whole thing of like, I don't know if you want to get on doing it on your podcast, but like the whole thing with like Alien was just like it's about sexual assault. Like, yeah, there's definitely heavy themes of that.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
it's no accident that like the survivor was a woman, Ripley. But
Yeah.
now we're talking about a different film.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing though. This movie's a segue into so many different avenues.
I mean, yeah, like you definitely have to like look deeper and like
Yeah.
honestly, that's you do have like all films basically, but yeah, it would be so easy to just like a lot of people in the reviews that just like dismiss it. Like this is just a bad film. Like,
Yeah.
psh. But like you can definitely find some gold there.
There's definitely definitely worth a watch for
Definitely,
the stuff that's in it. I tried to. I watched it recently for the podcast.
Yep.
I've seen it a few times. One of the few movies that I actually physically own a copy of. Just because I don't own a lot of physical movies.
And in the modern age,
Yeah, there's like a few. I think mostly because it's not worth anything to trade in. So I'm like, well, for what it's worth, I might as well keep it. You know, I might watch that when the internet's down or something.
Yeah, I think what those do have though, Ben, that I love was the special features. You don't get those on on Netflix.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. Like,
little
I got it in
commentary?
I got it like in a pack of like AVP 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
I'm like, oh well, there's like 2 movies for $10.
Yeah,
That's
so
about. I just kept them since then.
Yeah, I paid like $5 to watch it on like the Microsoft streaming service.
Oh right, well
yeah, and I was just like, fuck, I wish it was on Netflix because this is not a good video player.
I like midway through yesterday was like, oh, I should have given my copy to him because I've already seen it.
Yeah,
like I watched it a week ago. I should have just been like, save yourself the time.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If you like it, you can buy it. Buy it. This is the thing, though. I bought it like AVP 1 and 2.
Yeah.
In a pack.
Yeah, I got
But the thing is, I got it for $10, but it like AVP 2 hadn't been out for long. Like it was just already a cheap movie. Like I'm making out like I bought it recently. I got that like 2012. Like, or whenever, soon after the second one
came out. Yeah.
I did I did plan on watching it and taking a bunch of notes.
Yeah.
So far, I have one note, which I'm just going to emphasize.
All right, hit me with it.
So, you know, at the start where how it paints the whole like "we need you now" and the chick's climbing up the side of the fucking thing, and her phone rings. How the mobile provider is the chick at the start with because she's got service on the side of a fucking mountain. Yeah, that's the only note I made for the entire movie.
And then like she must have like actually been pretty low for the helicopter to land.
Yeah. Well. It's like she's very observant mountain climber.
Yeah,
she didn't observe that a fucking helicopter landed on the summit she was meant to climb to. And the other thing is too, she had her fucking phone set up ready to receive a phone call.
Yeah,
because as soon as it came through, she just answered it straight away. If I was calling someone I knew who was climbing up a mountain and they didn't answer, I'd be like, fair enough. But she did it after one fucking she did it like one fucking call and she was like, hello.
Oh, yeah, straight away. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if she said hello. Like, I just think that, I just think that the whole point of that was just like, why was that guy not surprised that she answered? Like if he was, like if I called someone on the side of the mountain and they answered, the first few seconds would me be going like, oh, are you able to talk?
Also, now that you mention it, it's like a 30-second conversation and he's at the top of the climb. It arguably would have been quicker to just wait for her to not answer the phone to get up.
Do you realise, like, with whatever cell phone provider you're using out there, that was probably like an $86 call. Got to use like satellites and shit. They're using like NASA satellites to make a call.
Triangulate.
He couldn't wait 30 seconds. And not to mention, like, how bad would you feel that if she tried to answer, she fell? Like, you couldn't wait 30 fucking seconds, and now you killed the chick, and now your whole fucking mission's going to shit.
Dusted, yeah.
And you got to go with that second-rate guy. That,
Oh, what was he? I forgot his name. Yeah.
How funny is that, though, that she's like, I don't want to do it. This is bullshit. And they're like, all right, we'll choose someone else. And then she's like, oh, nah. Like, I'll come along.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, basically, that Whalen dude was doing the whole trade and me and keep him keen. You're like, fine, you don't want to do it? No worries, I'll get someone else.
Yeah, but he was keen, then mean, then keen again. Maybe that's the that's the trick.
Yeah. It's like a love-hate relationship.
Through a toxic relationship.
Do they ever explain why that guy's got lung cancer?
No, they didn't even say that it's lung cancer. He just has the inhaler.
Yeah, so it's just like either he like just smokes like a lot of durries.
Yeah.
Or it's like some like genetic thing. He kind of looks like at least a pack a day smoker though.
Lance Lance Henriksen. I still fucked it up. Yeah, no, he does look a bit like he's a bit gaunt. Like,
man,
yeah,
it's like he just looks a bit. You ever notice someone like? You can kind of tell that they smoke cigarettes. Like if I was a smoker, you'd ask that person for a cigarette. Or
yeah. Like the Deros know who to ask.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Is that some sort of like hive mind type thing?
Oh, you come full circle, man, just like Alien.
Yeah, there we go, man. So wrapping it up, dude. If you had to give it a score out of 5, what would you rate it?
Probably like I'll give it a half, like 2.5, maybe 3.
Yeah. I'm with you there,
Yeah,
man.
about the same,
I'd probably go 2.5.
Yeah.
On the low side there, just because I think that it could have had a lot more potential if they didn't lock it down to PG.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the big problem with it.
If that was an MA film,
Yeah.
and they had some brutal kill scenes, just like in Predator 1.
Something like make you scared. Like, if
it was like more of a horror than like I don't know,
straight action. It's like it's an action. Yeah.
Then potentially could be a 4 or 5-star movie.
Yeah.
Not 5.
No.
But it could potentially be 3.5, 4 though. Like if it
definitely.
had
Like,
solid. Even if the storyline was the same.
The same. Yeah.
But they just did more character development.
Yeah.
And better kills. I'd probably go higher on that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Like those other, you mentioned it, the big flaws in the film there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, so that's wrapping up the review, and man, we'll run through. We'll just make another section here with hang on, I'll just close up this and then start a new one.
Yep.
All right, so that wraps up the Alien vs Predator review, and we'll kick off the next section in the next episode with a quick rundown on some more movie fun facts from Dylan and I. We'll go through our favourite movie and also another movie that we either don't like, it lived up to the hype, or it didn't live up to the hype, however you want to paint it, in the second episode of the Dylan Holmes Marky Worthington Podcast. So thanks for listening so far, and stay tuned for the next episode.
Don't buy me a drink.
Just name names.
Yeah, right. Big time. You're fucking thrown out a strip club with your floppy disk.
Yeah, you got a big beard, dude.
Shame for shit all day.
Me and my best friend, Marky Worthington.
Keep it simple. Count your money.
That they're not proud of. Just give me $10.
Hey, right.
Click.
Did you hang up?
No, I just said click.